we're going to chat all things breakfast. A lot of the girls that do our challenge, after a little bit of reflection, realise that breakfast is a great thing for them to improve on for lots of different reasons. So we're going to share some quick tips or guidelines on how to go about improving your breakfast, and then some of our favourite breakfast options.
So I think the most important thing to think about is to keep things simple. I know we think of a healthy breakfast as something that maybe needs to be cooked or Instagram perfect, when really a good breakfast is just something that you can eat. Yes. How big it is, how complicated it is, all depends on you. So whatever you can prepare and get in you to start the day is sort of going to be good enough, I think.
Yes. So true.
Don't overcomplicate things. As a guideline, I like to think if you can include at least 2 food groups, then you're going to be onto a winner. So yes. A piece of toast with something on it, if you can put some cheese and tomato on, that's ticking that off. If you have a milky coffee with your breakfast, that milk is counting food group as well. That's a dairy. So if you're running out the door with a piece of toast and a coffee, that could be enough. If you feel satisfied with that, you've got your 2 food groups, that could be a start. For myself, I'm going to need a bit more than that though. So I'm going to need to add some extra serves on top of that toast, I think, to get started. But really, an effective breakfast is just one that satisfies you and that you can get into whatever your schedule allows.
Yeah, I'll add to that and say, I don't think there's any breakfast food, as in anything could be breakfast food. Anything and everything could be breakfast food. So that means that the options out there are endless. But I know you as well. I kind of have 3 or 4, maybe 5 recipes that I cycle between, usually 2 or 3 over a week, and they change seasonally. So
yeah, you don't need to have, we talk a lot about getting variety in your day for nutrition, to making sure that you're meeting your micronutrients, but there's nothing wrong with having the same breakfast on repeat, especially if it's got a few different foods in it. If you've got the ingredients, slap it together. It really doesn't matter if you're having the same thing on repeat, because chances are it's going to be nutritious and it's going to be fueling you, which is the most important factor.
Yeah. So true. All right. So what are your favourite breakfasts at the moment? What's working for you?
We're into toast toppers at the moment. So we went through a bit of a phase where my little one, who tends to set the tone for breakfast in the house, she's having for breakfast, we kind of model ours around it just because it's easier. So she's come out of a Vegemite on toast phase and stole my breakfast a couple of weeks ago, which was just toast with avocado, cooked egg on top, and some chopped up tomato, because it was going soft in the fridge, so I needed to use it. And she stole half a slice and decided that was the best breakfast in the world. So we've been having that on repeat, which I am not sad about because it is really good. And tomatoes and avocados are pretty cheap at the moment.
Yes.
That's a plus. But so toast with anything on it is really handy. So especially if you're already making rounds of toast for other members of the family. Yeah. Chucking some different toppings on, even if you've got some dinner leftovers on top as well in the jaffle maker if you've got the time.
Well, that's a good idea. We don't have a jaffle maker, or maybe we do, and I just never use it.
You get the same effect in a frying pan.
Yes, so true. Don't need a jaffle maker.
Another one is smoothies. So as the weather warms up a little bit, I know that many people have got smoothies on rotation. So whatever your favorite mix is, I like to put some ingredients in a bag the night before. And even though you're not really making the smoothie ahead, it's just collecting the ingredients. It takes out that step, and it takes out that thought process of, what am I going to put in it? You might be answering a million questions or telling some small people to find their shoes while you're trying to think of what to put in it. Whereas if that step's for you, I find that really helpful when all you have to do is pour the milk in and blitz it up.
Decrease that mental load for sure in the morning. It's such a good idea.
Another one is just a simple bowl of cereal. So, we're going to talk up having veggies on your toast, if, having as many veggies and different foods in your breakfast as you can, but there is nothing wrong with a bowl of cereal. You've got some carbs, try and go for a lower sugar one, like some Wheaties or some Wheat Bix. You've got your milk, which is a dairy. It's going to give you some protein. And if that's enough to satisfy you, then that's a great breakfast. If you need a little bit more and you find that a bowl of cereal doesn't quite fill you up, then you could add some yogurt or some nuts and seeds to it as well, just to sort of pimp it out a little bit, make it a little bit more filling. But, you know, those old classics are just as nutritious as the sort of more Instagram perfect breakfasts too.
So true. So happening in our house at the moment, overnight oats is on repeat, and I like mine with mixed berries and cinnamon, adding some yogurt in. So that's still working for us at the moment. Coda still likes that. So that's
I love overnight oats for if you're not used to having breakfast, or you're finding that you're running out of time, because you can make a couple of days worth and have the fridge ready to go. So there's 3 or 4 days that you don't even need to do anything.
Yeah. It is good. It's a good option for us because I can also give it to Riker. So it works for everybody in our house.
Love that.
And I can prep it on Sundays, and I can prep a big batch. It's cheap as well. So it's not a lot of effort for, you know, a great outcome. Smoothies as well, that are a go-to. Again, having the bags pre-made up, I find that just saves that little bit of time and headspace in the morning. Toast is happening in our house. I usually love it with either like a bruschetta, kind of like a avocado and tomato, or I chop up all the leftover kind of roast veggies and just mix them together and have that on toast.
Nice.
If I have leftover veggies. So I find that's a good one. Sometimes with an egg. And then the other one I like, because I can prep it on the weekends if and when I have time, is the egg muffins, or they're kind of, what are they called? Is it frittata? No.
Yeah. We mix up the egg, bake it.
Yeah. Just like that. And Riker that's a good one for Riker. Like I make that at the moment with bread, so it's a little bit softer, and he can hold that and eat that. So definitely, I think it's easier to think what could work for the kids as well, so you're not have to making multiple things is such a time saver.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's kids that won't eat things like your leftover roast veggies on toast,
well, they definitely will.
It doesn't have to be the same.
Yeah.
While you're making their toast,
they'll
make
have toast
as well and pimp it out. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be exactly the same. You can always add extras to yours.
Yeah. I definitely pimp mine more than Coda's, that's for sure. Cool. I love that.